Think about the last time you needed real advice, not a quick answer, not a life hack. Real advice about your future, your work, your relationship, your identity, who you should become. Be honest, did you go to someone who knew you, or did you reach for your phone? That small movement says more about modern life than we realize. Because slowly, quietly, the algorithm has become something strange. Not just entertainment, not just information. A guide, a teacher, almost a parent. A voice we ask when we do not know how to live. This video is not saying the phone is evil, and it is not saying every online answer is wrong. The internet can teach you, it can comfort you. It can show you ideas you may never find alone. But there is a difference between information and wisdom. And there is a difference between something that wants your growth and something that wants your attention. Imagine someone lying in bed at night. They feel stuck. Maybe they do not know what career to choose. Maybe they feel behind. Maybe they do not know if they should stay, leave, change, try, quit, or begin again. They want guidance. But asking a real person feels uncomfortable. A parent may judge. A friend may not understand. A mentor may feel too far away. So they open their phone. One video says, disappear for 6 months and become unrecognizable. Another says, if they wanted to, they would. Another says, your 20s are for building wealth. Another says, stop caring, detach, become cold. Each one sounds confident. Each one feels like advice. But after 30 minutes, they do not feel wiser. They feel more anxious, because the feed gave them answers, but not understanding. For thousands of years, wisdom usually came from people, a parent, an elder, a teacher, a mentor. Someone who had walked a road before you. Someone who knew your name, your story, your weaknesses, your fears. Their advice was not perfect. Sometimes it was outdated. Sometimes it was messy, but it came from a relationship. And that mattered, because real guidance is personal. It does not only ask what is popular, it asks what is right for you. The feed cannot do that. The feed does not know your soul, it knows your signals. It knows what you click, what you watch twice. What makes you angry, what makes you stay. What makes you feel seen for a few seconds longer, and then it gives you more. That does not make it evil, it makes it powerful. But its goal is not the same as a mentor's goal. A good mentor wants you to grow. The algorithm wants you to continue. A mentor may tell you something hard because it will help you. The feed often gives you something comfortable because it will keep you there. And those two things can look similar. Both can feel like guidance. But one is trying to shape your character. The other is trying to hold your attention. A mentor might say, you need to apologize. The feed might say, protect your peace. A mentor might say, you're avoiding the hard work. The feed might say, you deserve better. A mentor might say, this dream will take years. The feed might say, change your life in 30 days. A mentor might ask what kind of person you are becoming. The feed asks what will make you watch the next video. That is the quiet trade. We used to go to people who could challenge us. Now we often go to systems that can soothe us. And this may be one reason so many people feel lost. We have more information than any generation before us. More opinions, more tutorials, more motivational speeches, more advice about success, love, confidence, money, discipline, healing, identity, and purpose. But information is not the same as wisdom. Information tells you what exists. Wisdom helps you know what matters. Information gives you options. Wisdom helps you choose. Information can be downloaded. Wisdom is usually earned through life, mistakes, attention, and people who care enough to tell the truth. That is what a feed struggles to give. It can show you 1,000 answers, but it cannot sit with the cost of your choice. It cannot know the full story behind your question. It cannot be proud of you when you grow. It cannot notice when your voice changes because you are scared. It cannot say, I know you and this is not really you. So the answer is not to throw your phone away. The phone is a tool. The problem begins when the tool becomes the teacher, when we stop asking real people, when we let a feed raise our values, when we confuse what keeps us watching with what helps us grow. So here is a simple way back. First, notice the difference between comfort and guidance. If the advice always tells you what you wanted to hear, it may not be guidance. It may be a mirror. Second, find one real human, someone a few steps ahead of you in something you care about. Ask them a real question, not a perfect question. A real one. Third, when you reach for your phone because you feel lost, pause and ask, am I looking for an answer, or am I looking for a feeling? That one question can break the spell. The algorithm can give you 1,000 answers in a second, but it cannot know you. It cannot love you. It cannot carry the weight of your future. It cannot look at your life with care. Only people can do that. And maybe that is what we are forgetting. We do not only need more advice. We need guidance that is connected to who we are becoming. We need people who can tell us the truth without needing us to keep watching. Use the feed as a tool, use it to learn, use it to discover, use it to open doors, but do not let it become the parent. Do not let it become the mentor. Who is one real person you could ask for guidance this week? And when was the last time someone's advice was hard to hear, but changed you for the better?